Now, before you start blaming all your problems on somebody else or thinking that there's something fundamentally wrong with your brain, you might want to try some natural things for anxiety. Here's why. Most of the time, anything that's happening inside of us really is under our control for a few different reasons, but the main reason is that we're creating an environment inside our bodies that's either conducive to rest or not. And anxiety is really not the same thing as worry, fear, or doubt. It's actually a reaction to worry, fear, and doubt. What I mean by that is that when we have worry and we go, oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to handle this worry, and I assign it meaning like I am not capable of handling worry, that's when I feel anxiety. So anxiety is a reaction to a thought. And we are much more reactive when we're not properly rested or nourished, or we're in fight or flight and our nervous system's all over the place. And some of the things that really impact that are things like foods. So I have a couple of ideas for you to try on foods to add in to your diet and foods to take away. That's another video, so stay tuned for that one. But for today, we're talking about foods to add. So what do I eat to help with anxiety? It's worth a shot. It's kind of like if you put the wrong gas in your gas tank and your car doesn't go well, same thing with your body. Like what if what you're actually putting in your body is causing you anxiety? It would be really good to know that. So here are 3 foods that I have tried and tested myself that really have helped me with anxiety. This all comes down to gut health. I think you might have heard this, or if you haven't, let me tell you that your gut is your second brain. So whatever's going on in your gut will impact how you feel and how you think, and that's why we have brain fog when we're hungry. And think about that. You have probably in the past been hangry. I'm so hungry, I can't think. Now, you might not have physical hunger pains, but your body might not be nourished with the right nutrition to be able to create a pathway that feels resilient so that when negative thoughts come up, you feel like, I can't handle this, this is too much, and I'm overwhelmed, and that's when anxiety starts. So try these. So these 3 foods are CBD, fermented foods, and good healthy fats. CBD is more like a supplement, and we're going to talk about supplements at the end. Let's start about fermented foods and why that's so important. So fermented foods, think about that right now. Can you name a food that's fermented? I only really know 2, maybe you know more than that, but fermented vegetables like sauerkraut and yogurt. The reason why they're so good for your system, your body, and for your mind is that they have pre and probiotics. So it helps you digest food. It helps you get nutrients. It's sort of like the pathway is cleared up and it balances your gut microbiome. Your body actually will know if there is something wrong. You know, you spike a fever when you have an infection. Well, sometimes when we have an imbalance in our gut, in our microbiome, which is like the bugs, and I apologize if you've never heard this before and you didn't know that you had bugs in your gut, because you do. That's what really helps you break down all your foods. But there's a balance between the healthy bugs and the unhealthy bugs. And when we have an overrun of candida or another unhealthy pathogen in our gut, it can make us feel anxious. And we're like, whoa, what's going on? You know, like your body's like, something's wrong. And you're like, well, what is it? Well, I don't know. It's something. And it could really, truly be in your gut. So adding in fermented foods really helps with that, helps really clear out anything that's going on in your gut so that you have a better chance of feeling good everywhere in your body. And I just learned this new tip. This is something that's totally blowing my mind. Not everything that's pickled is fermented. So if you add vinegar to a brine, it's like a quick pickle, it's not as healthy for you, because what happens when you pickle something, ferment something, is that it releases, the fermentation process actually releases a lot of the sugar and creates the type of bugs that we want in our system. So if it's vinegar solution, that doesn't happen. So you can eat pickles all you want and they taste good and they have, you know, some good minerals in them, but it's not going to be the same as eating something truly that's fermented. So I started actually doing my own fermentation at home, which is pretty cool. And it's so easy and cheap. It's just salt and water and then whatever vegetable you want. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that you can add in that is fermented is yogurt. And it's the same thing. It's a fermented dairy product, but it has the pre and probiotics that our bodies need to be able to balance our gut microbiome. I don't make that at home. I just get the stuff at the store, and that's a big part of how I manage my anxiety. And I do feel like I have had a major shift in how I feel in my body when I'm eating fermented foods and taking CBD as a supplement. And the last food group that I think you can add in to improve your feeling of anxiety in your body, giving yourself a fighting chance. So it's not just taking a medicine or just thinking you're crazy, but truly setting your system up, setting your body up for success on feeling balanced, is healthy fats. And the reason why that's important is because when we have healthy fats, we are able to think better. Good, healthy fats give us better myelin, which is the neural pathways in our brain, to be able to think more clearly. It actually increases or improves the synaptic charge between our neurons in our brain. And if we don't have that, we feel brain fog. And again, anxiety isn't about a feeling. It's about a reaction to a feeling. It's a judgment on us. Why am I so tired? Oh, it's making me anxious. If I could just be like, ooh, I'm feeling tired, I'm going to take a nap, then I wouldn't feel anxious about it. But anxiety is the judgment we inflict on ourselves about how well we are not handling life. So if we can handle life better by eating better foods and having more functioning, healthier brains, like having good, healthy fat, then we might not feel as anxious. It makes a lot of sense, right? The best healthy fat that I have found that I really like is butter. That is a huge controversy right now because of cholesterol. I encourage you to do your own research, and I'll actually give you a couple of cool things to take a look at down in the links below if you are interested in understanding why butter is a superfood and how it really nourishes our ability to self-regulate and our brain health. So that, I think, is worth you clicking on and checking out. I do want to just cover, like I said, supplements, because they're not necessarily foods and I'm not that kind of doctor. So I can't tell you to take something supplement-wise, but I can say that there are some single item ingredients that are widely known to have benefits for anxiety. One of them is magnesium. So if you think about topical magnesium, you might have heard like there's a magnesium spray, you put it on your muscles. Or thinking about like Epsom salt, the main ingredient in Epsom salt is magnesium. You soak in that and it really melts the stress away from your body. Why is that? It actually changes the muscle tone in your body. It helps your muscles relax. That's incredibly helpful for anxiety. And if you take it orally, it helps you with rest. It helps you get good sleep. So if you're taking that at night, it might be a good idea to do that, especially if you have racing thoughts at night or anxiety at night. Magnesium is a great thing to start adding into your diet. Just check the label, make sure you're getting a good, reputable source. Do your own research. Ask your doctor if you're on any other medications. If you have any questions at all, of course, ask your doctor. That's an important thing. CBD is another maybe supplemental that you can take at night for rest and relaxation. Again, ask your doctor if you have any questions on that. And then there's all these things that we already know that we have in our cabinets right now that we just don't use. Things like chamomile tea or valerian root and even lavender. Those things really do work. It's a small boost, but it's worth doing. If you are struggling with anxiety, why not add those foods in to help with any way they can? So you have options. I always say this on every video. If it's not working for you, find something that does. Don't give up. Not all of these things are working for everybody. Not all of these things worked for me. It also just depends on where you're at in your life. It may not work for you today. Maybe it'll work for you tomorrow. Keep trying, keep going, keep researching. You are your own best researcher, and every body is different. So it's up to you to keep showing up and trying to solve this puzzle for yourself. Am I getting enough nutrients? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I breathing well? Am I giving myself enough grace? Those are all tools that I'm offering to you in this series on anxiety. So keep looking through these videos and find something that works, but also do the work. Practice the practice, because just hearing me talk about it is not going to be enough. I know that's the hard part. You can't just intellectualize it. You actually have to do the things. So as I'm saying this, get your grocery list out. Put yogurt on there. Put a fermented food on there. Maybe pick up a new hobby and ferment your own sauerkraut. Grab some magnesium and give yourself a fighting chance on being able to naturally connect with what your body needs. Anytime we're thinking or feeling anything, it's a signal from our bodies, our subtle body, our subconscious, our physical body. It's a signal trying to tell us something is not right. What is not right? How can I slow down, sit with myself, and truly ask myself, what really is not right here? Now, sometimes it's just a runaway mind, and we're just, it's a product of being in a stressful environment, in conflict with a loved one, or in a hard conversation, in a really stressful job, or things that, new parents or a move. Like, some things are going to give us anxiety, and it has nothing to do with food, and that's okay. There are other tools to help with that as well. Bottom line, you have options that you can do. You have tools that you can add to your daily life to set yourself up for success, to feel better, and also to show up the way you want to show up in your life at any point in time. Next video that you should be watching is foods to avoid for anxiety. And really, that one is more important than this video. There are a lot of things that you can cut out that really make immediate, lasting effects. And I can't wait for you to see that. So we'll see you on the next video.